So before we start this video for the Easter weekend, we would like to say thank you very, very much to every one of our subscribers. We appreciate you very much. Every one of our viewers, thank you for spending time with us on the farm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd like to ask you to do so. Just click the subscription below. Make sure you're notified of when we post new videos, and leave us a comment and a thumbs up if you don't mind. We love reading new comments. So, from everyone here at LTB Farms on this Easter weekend, be safe, be blessed. Well, heading down to get some things started. Got feed to unload. I'll do that in a little bit. I'll spare you that. I know you've seen that about 30 times. But going to take a little advantage of the getting dark later. I'm going to go ahead and we've got a group of mamas that we need to get sorted and separated. So I need to start moving some sorting equipment up to where we can more easily access getting everything set up and put together so that we can do that. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day, and on the last video you saw me moving some equipment over so we could get some ewes worked and sorted and separated. So we're going to work on that a bit this afternoon. There's not a whole lot of them to get moved out, but there's a few. So I'm going to head down, start seeing about trying to get some of the equipment set up, and unfortunately daylight's burning, so got to get busy. Even though I ate too much lunch. Whew. It was sure good though, sweetheart. Anyway, see what kind of mess we can get into today.
So basically we loaded up 2 or 3 loads into the system, just a little catch pen with a couple of gates and a little short alleyway in between. My wife checks the book regularly to see which ones should stay with their babies and which ones need to be weaned and ready to wean out. So once we do that, we check the mamas using the FAMACHA score, which means you look at the lower part of their eyelids, and depending on how dark, light, pale the underside of their eyelids are, can give you an indication on whether they possibly have worms and might need to be treated. So it's not 100% accurate, but it does give you an indication of who you might need to look at a little bit better.
Probably about 15 of them weaned out and moved out. So tonight, when I go in to feed the rams, I'll lead them around and take them in with the rams. And then we'll start our pasture rotation with the rams. So, got that done. The feet work and stuff, we'll do that in the next few days because we have the head catch system over there. And it just makes it a little bit easier to do the foot trimming. So we'll, the tilt table does well for foot trimming. It's just some of these girls are a little shorter legged. So if they're not tall enough for their body to be right in the curve of that, then it doesn't hold them real well. So their body needs to be like right in that curve. Some of them are a little shorter legged than that. One of them's already out. All right. A little out of breath. Had kind of a rodeo going there. I had to go ahead and move those mamas in with the rams. And I had to do it kind of quickly. So I didn't get any video, sorry. I'm getting bad at that. But I had to do it right when I had the opportunity. But anyway, I went ahead and moved them up in there. So there they are. The reason I had to go ahead and move them up was because the baby's in there hollering. There's one piece of tin on the bottom of the barn that's a little loose, and so the babies were pushing their way out and getting out. So hopefully adding a little more distance will help. I hope. We are, well, I won't say in emergency mode, but we have a lot of rain that's moving in a little bit later this evening. I was just looking at radar and checking the forecast, and so we decided, being Sunday, we normally go through the feeding process a little bit earlier anyway. But we're going to bump that up just a little bit because it is looking like it could be pretty intense as far as heavy rain by 7:30. So, granddaughter's already down doing her feeding chores. I'm going to get down and get buckets at least prepared because once they're ready, it doesn't take long to get buckets fed and get everybody actually fed. So we're going to do that. We'll get some hay moved so that we can get the hay up for everybody in the mangers, and probably fill water tanks, and get just some of that time-consuming stuff done now. Oh, the life of a cat. Yeah, that's in the top of the barn wall. Sound asleep. Well, as you can tell by the wind, we've got some pretty significant weather moving in. So we're going to get down and try to get as much done as possible early. Normally we would eat supper and all that before we get started, but they can't really seem to get a good pinpoint on when the fun with the weather is going to start. So we'll get down, get fed, get watered, all that good stuff, so we can have that done. They can get settled in, we can get settled in before the weather moves in. So that's who we have left in this fourth group to deliver. There's 11 here, I believe. We've had 4 deliver. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yep, they're all back there. So they're good. Oh, and update. The girl that was down and wasn't doing real well, there she is. She's been doing very well. She's recovered very good and taking good care of her baby. So one more success. Whew. Just watching the water tank. It's almost full enough. Little man, the goat that's in here with the lambs, likes to play games with the water hose. He has horns. Where'd he go? He ran off now because I'm not playing with him. I'm not playing with him anymore. Anyway, he likes to take his horns and hook the water hose, pull it out of the tank. So needless to say, he can be very aggravating. With the rams, every night when I feed, I close them in the corral while we're feeding everyone else. I always feed them first. And I do that because we've got where the lambs are is right next to the ram, I say ram pen. There's actually several mamas, just weaned mamas out there too. But anyway, the reason I close them in is because those panels that hold the lambs in would not really hold if all those mamas and the rams decided they wanted to push their way into the feeders in there. So I close them in there until after we fed the lambs, and the lambs have had plenty of time to eat and kind of clean up the feed. Then I open that gate back up so that they can get back out to hay and get back out to water. Now we do let them out on pasture during the day and we put them up at night, and that's what we've been doing so far. Working well. The girls are looking good. The grass out there is looking really good. So no more head than there is on that about 4 acres, I guess it is, 4 or 5 acres. They're doing very, very well, and so are the goats. The goats are fat and sassy and looking good. They kind of wander between this pasture right here and then the one behind it, and then the big barn back there. There's another pasture back behind that they wander on pretty regularly and pretty freely. They're not supposed to, but unfortunately there's a lot of fences that need a lot of work. So anyway, I'm going to get this turned off, and I already turned it off. I was too busy talking. Anyway.